Hi everyone, Patrick here. For today's video, it will be 20 popular sci-fi series that I haven't read and I'm wondering whether I should read them or not. Yeah, I think it was 4 months ago I did a video similar to this. It was 20 popular fantasy series that I haven't read, and it really helped me make my decisions regarding which series to read and which series not to read. And I'm sure that some of you know that I read a lot more fantasy books than sci-fi or other genre. And to be honest, sci-fi is actually my second favorite genre. So that's why I'm a bit sad to admit that I haven't read much of it. So here's the thing. I absolutely love sci-fi in other medium of storytelling such as manga, anime, movies, television show, and video games. And for a particular reason, from my experience, it seems a bit difficult for me to get into some sci-fi novels. I think the main reason behind this is that, from my experience, again, a lot of the sci-fi novels that I've tried aren't as character-driven enough as I wanted. The concepts, ideas, and theories were great, but I didn't care about the stories because I couldn't care about the characters. And obviously, this is not always the case, but there have been a lot of circumstances when this happened. I'm going to mention 20 popular sci-fi series here, and what I wanted to know is that whether any of this seems like something that I will enjoy. And to give you an idea of the kind of sci-fi series that I love, the most simple one is Red Rising Saga by Pierce Brown. Red Rising Saga by Pierce Brown is one of my favorite series of all time, and I think that series felt very character-driven. So basically, the kind of sci-fi novels that I love are the one that felt very character-driven, and I think they can be categorized as soft sci-fi. But anyway, just let me know your thoughts on any of the series and whether I should look into them or not. The criteria for the series I'm going to mention is very simple. Once again, the first book in the series has to have at least 40,000 ratings. That's it. That's all the criteria, and these are just 20 popular sci-fi series. I'm sure there are still more that I want to try, but this shall do for now because, well, my TBR pile is already immense, but it's good to get an idea of which series I will attempt in the future. And there is no ranking of hype to this list. I'm just arranging this list based on the number of ratings. So the first one that I want to mention is The Book of the New Sun by Gene Wolfe. So for The Book of the New Sun, this has been on my radar for years. And I have decided, now that I own the books, I have decided to make this a priority series of mine next year. And for this series, I've heard a lot of great things about it. Some have said that it's immensely rewarding, some have said that it's immensely difficult. Some readers have actually told me that this 4-book series is even more difficult than Malazan Book of the Fallen by Steven Erikson. That is insane, that is a challenge. But they all mention that it's immensely rewarding. So maybe in a way that's kind of similar to playing Dark Souls. And yeah, some people have indeed told me that reading Book of the New Sun reminded them of trying to solve the complex story of Dark Souls. So for Book of the New Sun, I'm going to read them next year. The second series that I want to mention is Revelation Space by Alasdair Reynolds. Yeah, I haven't read anything by this author. I know absolutely nothing about his books. I haven't researched them enough. So for this one, I want to hear from you, if you have read it, whether this is actually worth it or not. The first book in the series currently has 49,000 ratings, and I think that's quite a lot of ratings. And I know that in the sci-fi community, a lot of people have mentioned this name as well. The third series that I want to mention is Bobbyverse by Dennis Taylor. The first book is called We Are Legion, and this one is self-published. This is one of the 2 self-published series on this list. And currently, this is the only self-published series on this list. The first book, amazingly, has 66,000 ratings. This one has been recommended to me quite a lot. Looking at my criteria in the beginning of this video that I mentioned that it has to be character-driven, I think this one should fit the bill. And yeah, Bobbyverse, from what I've heard so far, I think has a high chance of me reading them in the future. I don't know when yet, but I think it has a high chance. So if you have read this one, do let me know your thoughts on it, because my co-blogger loved this series so much. The fourth series that I want to mention is Culture by Ian Banks. Ian Banks is a name that I frequently hear when people talk about influential sci-fi books. A lot of people have mentioned this series. Again, just like Revelation Space by Alasdair Reynolds, I know absolutely nothing about this series at all. First book, Consider Phlebas. It has 81,000 ratings right now on Goodreads, and yeah, that is a lot of numbers. And considering the fact that I know nothing about this, I hope that this is a space opera. It should be, right? So if you have read this series, do let me know whether it's worth it or not. Series number 5 on this list that I want to mention is Skyward Quartet by Brandon Sanderson. The first book is Skyward, and it currently has 88,000 ratings. I think it's a no-brainer, right? It's Brandon Sanderson. I will be reading this series someday. I am probably one of the few people who initially were disheartened when I heard that Brandon Sanderson was going to release Skyward tetralogy, because I was I was already so waiting for The Lost Metal, and then he decided to just release a new series. And usually I don't mind this, and I know it's Brandon Sanderson, I'm going to love his books. But undeniably there was some part of me that wanted Brandon Sanderson to actually finish The Lost Metal first before he started and focus on this new series. But you know what, it all worked out, and The Lost Metal will come out next year, finally. And I think this series will be finished in 2023. Yeah, I think it will be in 2023 together with the Stormlight Archive Part 1. So it will be exciting. I'm not sure when I'm going to read Skyward yet. And a lot of Brandon Sanderson fans have mentioned that this one is amazing as well. And I think I'm going to love this. Series number 6 that I want to mention here is Imperial Raj by Ann Leckie. The first book is Ancillary Justice, and it currently has 92,000 ratings. Okay, for this one, it won a lot of awards. The first book, the second book, and the third book, all of them won awards so many times. But again, I haven't read this one. I own the trilogy already. But even though this has won many awards, I keep on hearing mixed things about it. So I'm not sure when I'm going to read them yet, but I already own the trilogy, as I said. So I'm sure that I'm going to give it a try someday. But yeah, let me know whether you love this series or not. I keep on hearing that this series eventually became something about tea. So what? I guess I'll find out someday. Series number 7 on this list is Wayfarers by Becky Chambers. The first book is The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, and it currently has 95,000 ratings. I'll be honest, I have actually attempted The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. What a long title. I have actually attempted this book about a year ago. I think about a year or 2 years ago. So this one definitely felt character driven, just like what I wanted in a sci-fi book. But also at the same time, there seemed to be no conflict at all. Like at all. It's just so peaceful. Everything feels so wholesome, I guess. And I think I was reading this one in the wrong mood. I haven't attempted this again. Wayfarers is a completed series. It is a tetralogy. Yeah, it is 4-book series and it has been finished. A lot of people love this series. As I said, this is a wholesome series and it gave them a good feeling when they read any books by Becky Chambers. So maybe I just have to make sure that I'm in the right mood to actually attempt this again. Series number 8 is Takeshi Kovacs by Richard Morgan. The first book is Altered Carbon. I'm not sure about this one because I have actually watched the TV show and it has been discontinued now. I don't think this TV show is bad. I don't think it's mediocre, but it's good. It's good, but I don't think they're fantastic in my opinion. And it didn't spark my interest to actually try the books after watching the TV show. So I'm not sure about this. I also haven't read anything by Richard Morgan, come to think of it. I know that his Grimdark series, A Land Fit for Heroes, is often recommended to me too. And I haven't read that one as well. So yeah, if you have read Takeshi Kovacs, do let me know whether it's better than the TV show or not, and whether the books are worth it. The next series I want to mention is Earthseed Duology by Octavia Butler. The first book is Parable of the Sower. This is already on my TBR pile and I already have the entire duology. I am so looking forward to reading this. I don't know when, probably next year for this one, but I am so looking forward to this because practically everyone I know who have read this book, who have read this duology, loved it, even though they said that it's bleak, but they all agree that this is a fantastic duology. And if you have read this one, do let me know whether you love this or not, but I think it's quite certain that I will be giving this a try someday. Series number 10 on this list is Wayward Pines by Blake Crouch. The first book is called Pines and it currently has 103,000 ratings, so that's very popular. And if you don't know about this, I love Dark Matter and Recursion. Recursion is one of the best standalone sci-fi books that I've read. But for some reason, my interest in Wayward Pines until now still hasn't sparked yet. So if you have read Dark Matter or Recursion and also this series, do let me know whether this is as good as Dark Matter and Recursion or not. I have only heard about this from Emily Fox, a great booktuber, and she has recommended this series quite a lot. And she was the one who recommended Recursion to me. And so, yeah, If you have read this, let me know whether you love this or not. And if I do give this a try, hopefully I will love this, or maybe I will enjoy this as much as I enjoy Dark Matter and Recursion, or maybe even more. That will be better. So we have 10 more series here, and series number 11 is a very popular one right now. It is called Murderbot by Martha Wells. And this is not an unfamiliar series to me. I have actually read the first book. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars rating. It's fun, and Murderbot is very relatable, but at the same time, I'm also not sure why this became so popular right now. And so many authors loved it, so many readers loved it. So yeah, I don't know about this one. If you have read the series past the first book, let me know whether it improved significantly from the first book or not. Because these books, any books by Tor.com, are insanely expensive. Considering that almost all the books they release are novellas that can be read within 1 or 2 hours, I think the prices they gave a lot of the times doesn't make sense to me, especially for their Kindle edition. It's just too expensive. Series number 12 on this list is Illuminae Files by Jay Kristoff and Annie Kaufman. The first book, Illuminae, currently has 136,000 ratings. I remember back when I first joined Goodreads, this was all the hype back then. People constantly talk about Illuminae and Gemina back then, and when Obsidio was released, people constantly talk about Obsidio. So yeah, this is a very popular series. I know that one of the things about Illuminae Files that attracted a lot of people is that the unique storytelling style. It is told in files and a lot of pictures. And to be honest, I'm quite interested in trying the unique storytelling style. The next series that I want to mention is The Forever War by Joe Halderman. The first book currently has 152,000 ratings. That is incredible. So this one has been recommended to me quite a lot, but at the same time, literally everyone who have recommended this to me said that just read the first book, do not continue with the series. That is not reassuring at all. Is it that bad? And because of that, I'm not sure whether I should give this a try. What if I end up loving the first book so much that I want to continue to the next book and found myself completely disappointed? Series number 14 on this list is Silo by Hugh Howey. The first book is called Wool, and I think this was originally self-published, but this one is so popular now. The first book, the first omnibus, has 176,000 ratings. That is amazing, especially considering that this was originally self-published. It reminded me of The Martian. The Martian was originally self-published too, and I think Hugh Howey has achieved an incredible thing as well. I know absolutely nothing about this series. I'm not even sure whether this is dystopia or space opera, but just like Bobbyverse, practically everyone I know who have read this series loved it. Series number 15 on this list is The Old Man's War by John Scalzi. First book currently has 182,000 ratings. John Scalzi is a very popular sci-fi author, and for whatever reason, I haven't read any of his books. None of them, even though he has a lot of books now. The reason why I haven't read this is quite similar to the reason why I haven't read The Forever War. So basically, everyone who recommended this to me told me that the first book is great. Unfortunately, all the remaining books in the series, they said, aren't as good as the first book. So that's, again, disappointing, and it made me lazy. And the remaining 5 series on this list will probably shock you. And series number 16 is Hyperion Cantos by Dan Simmons. Yes, I will read this series. I will read this series next year. Hyperion, the first book in the series, currently has 209,000 ratings. This has been in my TBR. This has been on my radar since 2016. 5 years. It's been 5 years and I still haven't read this book. And I know, that's crazy. Hopefully I will love this because so many people told me that this one is one of the best sci-fi series to ever exist. And just like The Book of the New Sun by Gene Wolfe, this is going into my priority series to read within next year. Series number 17 here is Sprawl by William Gibson. So the first book is called Neuromancer, and Neuromancer has 282,000 ratings. And in a lot of forums, this has been recommended so many times. I have lost count how many times I have seen Neuromancer being recommended, and yet at the same time I also have absolutely no idea what this is about. And oddly, I literally have never heard other people talk about the sequel of this book. They only talk about Neuromancer. That's it. So maybe this is just like The Forever War, only the first book is worth it. Let me know. Series number 18 is Foundation by Isaac Asimov. The first book currently has 451,000 ratings. And yes, I know that this is a very popular classic sci-fi series. But again, my interest in this hasn't been sparked at all until I saw the television show. I haven't watched it. I have only watched the trailer. but it's only until I watched the trailer that my interest in this has been sparked. So if you have read this, let me know whether this is great or not, because I heard quite a lot of mixed things about it. Some people thought of it as brilliant, some people thought of it as outdated. But what I want to know is whether this is a soft sci-fi or hard sci-fi, and again, whether this is character-driven enough for me to actually care about the characters. Series number 19 on this list, and this is probably one of the most popular sci-fi book of all time. It is Ender's Game. It is Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. I'm sorry that I haven't finished this book. I have actually attempted Ender's Game a long time ago. I've read only about 20% of this book, but I wasn't impressed by it. I'm sorry, I know that this is a very popular sci-fi book, and hearing that, a lot of people also told me that the rest of the series doesn't match up to the first book, again, made me lost interest in it. I know that Ender's Game is a beloved sci-fi book, but who knows, reading mood is unpredictable sometimes. Maybe one day I want to try a popular classic sci-fi, and maybe I will try this one. And Ender's Game currently has 1.2 million ratings on Goodreads. That is amazing. Series number 20, which is the last one on this list, is even more impressive. It is The Hitchhiker's Guide to Galaxy, and it currently has 1.5 million ratings. Okay, I'll be honest, I have read this one. I have read the first book a very long time ago. I was still a kid back then, and I remember right now zero things about it. I only remember something about 42, and that's it. That's all I remember about The Hitchhiker's Guide to Galaxy. I don't know whether this means that the book was unmemorable to me or not, but I know that it didn't spark my love for reading novel. Maybe reading this right now will actually make me love it. I'm not sure. So if some of you read this series for the first time recently, do let me know whether you love The Hitchhiker's Guide to Galaxy or not, and maybe I will try to read this again. I remember that this one was very easy to read though, because remember, English is my third language, and back then my English was still limited. But again, maybe that's also the reason why this one didn't click with me back then. Yeah, that's all the 20 popular sci-fi series that I haven't read. And as I said, whether I have interest in them or not, please do let me know your thoughts. Your answers and comments will help me make my decisions on whether I should read this series or not. So yeah, that's all from me today. As always, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support. Bye bye.